Subscribe so we can end up in the hospital together after we get burnt from drinking this hot tea. What am I even talking about? This tea isn't even hot anymore. Or maybe it'll always be hot because people's opinion on Gabby Hanna keep getting worse and worse. I knew I'd end up making this video someday. I didn't expect it to be today though. So Gabby Hanna's back and I was gonna make a video about her return. But now more drama has happened between her and Trisha Paytas and people mostly sided with Trisha. So I was all like, wait a minute, people tend to side with Trisha when she's involved in drama with Gabby, no matter how freaking awful Trisha is. Why is that? Whenever Gabby told Trisha's boyfriend she had an STD, people sided with Trisha, and that was understandable to me. However, when Trisha started calling out Gabby for being unstable and stuff, I was perplexed as to why people sided with Trisha, because she's no one to talk with her kitchen floor meltdowns. And now with the whole Gabby making a song about Trisha Paytas that Trisha knew about but now is not okay with because they're not cool with each other anymore, and Gabby Hanna still releasing the song even when she said she wasn't gonna get into drama anymore, people sided with Trisha again. I feel like both Trisha and Gabby are in the wrong in this one. Gabby for still going forward with the Trisha Paytas song even when she knows how much things have changed between them since the herpes drama, and going on Drama Alert to announce the song. And Trisha for labeling Gabby as a psychopath and saying Gabby's obsessed with her when Trisha was making TikToks of Gabby while she was gone, and even called her out multiple times when she was having a mental breakdown. Despite the fact that they're both in the wrong, most people sided with Trisha Paytas anyway. I guess people forgot that they don't have to side with anyone. Out of Gabby can't take criticism Hanna, and Trisha I'm a transgender chicken nugget with DID for attention Paytas. Why did they side with the latter? It's almost unbelievable until you factor in how much people don't like Gabby Hanna. Let's be honest, people tend to look for information that confirms their beliefs as opposed to information that uncovers the truth. This is called confirmation bias. People dislike Gabby Hanna. People would look for information that confirms their dislike for Gabby and ignore information that disproves their beliefs. Do I dislike Gabby? Yes and no, because she reminds me of me. Like, she's the same shade of annoying that I am. I try to excuse my failures and my faults instead of admitting that I fall short, just like Gabby does when she gets criticism. I see myself as the person that I should be and not the person that I am, and sometimes it can be hard for me to admit when I'm wrong because I fool myself into thinking that I'm better than what I actually am. I also can't take a joke a lot of the time. I get all serious and defensive at things that are just lighthearted. I try to act like things don't get to me and that I'm laughing at myself, when in reality I'm laughing because I'm mad and there's nothing else I can do to distract people from how mad I am. Gabby and I have a lot in common, and saying that makes my mouth taste like sweaty socks. However, there's one key difference between Gabby and me, and that's that I'm self-aware. I know and can admit that I can be a pretentious stick in the mud, but Gabby has never done that. Gabby just pretends to be unbothered by all the people who dislike her, keeps making excuses for her books and her music being bad, and gets angry at people for poking fun at her, even after she basically gave people the okay to make fun of her by capitalizing on the jokes. A self-aware Gabby Hanna wouldn't do this, and I know it because I'm practically a self-aware Gabby Hanna. Just not famous. I'm by no means perfect, but my self-awareness allows me to inspect my character and work on my flaws. It allows me to change for the better. Gabby hasn't changed. That girl that got salty at the monster memes 2 years ago, that's still Gabby Hanna. I can guarantee you that that's still her. I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening. I was gonna say but I was trying to say her. Why? Cause she's so cause she's too stuck in her own perception to grow. Not only that, but her perception is that she's never the one who's in the wrong. The people who criticize her are, because they don't understand her circumstances. They don't understand that she's the victim. And I'm not saying that she's never the victim. I am saying that the fact that she always wants to be the victim makes people less susceptible to believe in her when she actually is the victim. It's her stubborn above criticism mentality that makes people dislike her so much. As a result, people choose to believe information that confirms their dislike for Gabby, whether or not it's true. Trisha Paytas, on the other hand, admits that she's flawed and horrible, even if she doesn't really mean it. So people are more forgiving with her because she has a more humble feel to her. That probably wasn't the way to put that, so let me explain. Trisha Paytas is a hot mess. She loves to start and propagate drama, but at least she admits it. Like whenever she purposely started a firestorm last year, when she posted herself making out with Jacqueline Hill's ex-husband on her Instagram story. She doesn't hold herself to a standard she's not willing to uphold, unlike Gabby Hanna, who acts like she's too good for drama but dives into it head first. Gabby Hanna acts like she's on a higher level and thinks that people just dislike her because they're not at her level, when in reality she just needs to be more self-aware and realize that she's not always in the right. Even in her quote-unquote apology, she sounds pretentious as frick. I'm not reading this whole thing in the video, by the way. It's too long. I initially accepted this apology because this is one of those rare times Gabby Hanna has admitted that she was wrong. A crumb of bread is better than nothing, right? But then, guess what? I read it again and decided not to give her that much credit. Why should I? She's pulling the same bullshit shenanigans she always pulls. She's all like, I really don't like drama, but I try to make the best of it. So you don't like it. Yeah, when it happens, you fuel it, you get mad at criticism, and passive-aggressively make money out of it. Why can't she just admit that she does like drama? At least a part of her does, because how does someone who supposedly wants to be unproblematic getting into so much drama? She accepted the interview on Drama Alert to talk about the song she wrote about Trisha Paytas. Drama Alert has the word drama in it, and you know how Keemstar is, Gabby, so why did you agree to the interview? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Make it make sense. The only reasonable explanation is that Gabby Hanna suffers from Jeffree Star syndrome. Never doing this again, and then oops, doing it again. She also poked fun at her bullies clip, which made me really angry. She's over here laughing at herself and inviting others to laugh with her as well, but when someone makes a funny TikTok about her bullies video, no, that's too far. That's hateful and crime. That's hateful and a crime, and how dare you make fun of Gabby Hanna breaking down. Pick a side, Gabby Hanna. You flip-flop more than Harden's character motivation, for goodness sakes. And that's not a light comparison. You can ask Tessa. She did put sorry at the end, but that's not enough. You can't just piss on me, dry me, and pretend that everything's okay. It doesn't work that way, honey. Why'd you piss on me in the first place? The sorry feels weak after all those excuses she made in the beginning. Gabby Hanna always wants to be in the right, but she can't because no one can always be in the right. Why would you always want to be in the right anyway? That's boring and doesn't allow room for growth. Imagine a world where Gabby Hanna was always right. Gabby would bend the laws of physics just to excuse her behavior. Oh my gosh. Do I have faith that Gabby Hanna will learn to take criticism and show growth? Yes and no. Yes, because we all have the potential to do good and bad. It's part of the human experience. Kind of like having cable. When you have cable, there's all these channels that just come with your bundle, and regardless of whether you want them or not, they're always there just in case you want to try them out and watch them. The potential to do good and the potential to do bad come in our little human bundle. The degree to which we use either potential, if at all, is up to us. Gabby's human, no matter what her songs say.
What if I'm the monster?
Therefore, she can always choose to listen and do better. On the other hand, Gabby's been getting more and more intense. I heard that YouTube was demonetizing videos that spoke about her after she claimed that she was being shadow banned. So yeah, she doesn't seem to be going in the right direction right now. My thoughts generally don't affect the future though, so anything could happen. She could wake up tomorrow and be open to criticism. Before I end the video, I want to dedicate a section to how the way people perceive Gabby Hanna affects her behavior and vice versa, because this is a psychology themed video and I don't want people to feel cheated, okay? There's this thing called the Pygmalion effect. The Pygmalion effect is a psychological phenomenon in which our actions toward others shape others' beliefs about us, which shape their actions towards us, and in turn shape our beliefs towards ourselves, and those beliefs shape our actions toward others. Gabby handles criticism poorly, and acts like she's above it. People believe that Gabby's pretentious and don't like her. People drag Gabby. Gabby feels like she's the victim and starts defending herself. Gabby refuses to accept criticism even more because she's been dragged way more than other influencers. People dislike Gabby even more. People drag Gabby 5 times as hard. Gabby feels like the victim 10 times as hard as before. Gabby calls all criticism hate. It's a never-ending, self-reinforcing cycle. It won't stop until either party stops reinforcing the other. I feel like Gabby is more disliked than a lot of people who are worse than her or deserve more criticism than her. She just has that Monica Geller energy, you know? A lot of people like all the other friends more than Monica because of how controlling Monica is. Even when Monica does something good, she's still more disliked than the rest of her friends. I feel like this is very similar to the way that people dislike Gabby. My theory is that flaws that directly affect other people are less desirable than flaws that directly affect only the individual. Having poor self-esteem doesn't directly harm others, it just harms the person who has it. While narcissists generally project their narcissism into the real world by generally not treating others very well. Monica's controlling nature is constantly projected into the real world and does affect the people who have to deal with her. Gabby's inability to take criticism and hypocrisy, yes, hypocrisy, I needed to use different words, projects in how entitled she acts and affects other people since she's villainizing their concerns. Ultimately, this isn't a video essay, it's all over the place, but I like using ultimately. People's distaste for Gabby Hanna is amplified by confirmation bias. The Pygmalion effect reinforces people's dislike toward her. Will this ever stop? Will I make any more videos on Gabby? I don't know, but I probably won't stop making these videos anytime soon.